Hi, welcome to my channel, Lux to O, and today I wanted to share with you Trish McEvoy. I do have a dedicated review on her EDPs, and I think she has some real hits. Today I want to share with you a new one that comes in just under $100 for a 50 ml size. But first, let's do a little recap on Trish McEvoy. We are talking about fragrances that are really personal and it's your skin but better. That doesn't mean all of them are light wearing, but some of them and many of them are. But when you get with the heavier notes, you'll see that they do last longer. And if your skin's moisturized, all the better. Trish McEvoy EDPs come to mind when I think of second skin but better with an edge of sophistication. They really have seemed to nail it when we're talking about modern feminine fragrances. Trish McEvoy's approach to fragrance is quite unique. She offers categorized scent by number. And if you go back and watch the video, you'll see the ones that I've spoken about. She does the same thing with her EDTs. And I do have a video coming with her EDTs. I also have one on her most recent re-release, is what I'd call it, which is Mandarin and Ginger Lily, and I believe that's number 6. But I have a dedicated review on that. But she has some really well-crafted fragrances that either evoke a mood or a feeling that you may have, and they're designed to be worn alone or layered. Kind of like the way Kayali does it. You can layer her fragrances. Just choose the ones that you feel like would be great together. I'm not sure if on her website she has suggestions like the Harmonist does for layering combinations or Kayali does, but certainly I'd take a look. These are well worth getting your nose on. When I think of high quality ingredients, effortless wearability, and an understated elegance, I do think of Trish McEvoy. And let me mention that Trish McEvoy's musk is kind of a soul-filling musk, is what I would call it. You know how we anticipate what Narciso Rodriguez musk fragrances will be like, whether it's jasmine musk, patchouli musk. Well, with Trish McEvoy, you can be assured of getting her kind of brand of musk, which is quite pleasant, and really I've never found it to be animalic at all. Trish McEvoy has those fragrances that are perfect from a PTA meeting to a doctor's appointment, or just if you're going to have brunch. But they can be easily seasonal favorites, and you can certainly find those that are worthy of being signature scent worthy. Before I get into the new fragrance by Trish McEvoy, let me just mention one that is truly one of my favorites. As you can see, there's not much left in this bottle. This is Trish McEvoy's Sexy number 9. She does have number 9, but this is Sexy number 9, and you can see there's not much left in this bottle. This one is just pure magic. When I first went to a Trish McEvoy counter, this was the one, this and the one I do have a dedicated review on, just simply grabbed my attention. This one is that juicy, slightly tart burst of blackberry, but it's beautifully combined with the scent of fresh mandarin orange. It's not overly sweet, and it's not childish. This is more sophisticated. Sexy number 9 is truly the star in the dry down. You will have that addictive Trish McEvoy's musk. You also have a crystallized vanilla in Sexy number 9. This is one that I don't think has ever been retired from her collection, like many of her fragrances do end up in that land of being forgotten, and then she'll reintroduce them, which she has done recently with a couple. But this is absolutely a cozy, inviting hug, and I think Sexy number 9 is perfect for cooler weather or any time you want to feel warm and alluring. This is my third, almost now empty bottle. Have no fear, I do have a backup bottle. Now the newest addition to Trish McEvoy that I've noticed, and it was just released I believe in July, is number 8. So she's continuing with the number theme. And this to me is like perfect presentation from the box, which is kind of iridescent. And then of course we have this pretty girl inside the box. And I think the presentation is quite exceptional for this fragrance and truly matches what is the juice inside. This is described on the box by being inspired by open skies and sunlit coastlines, with top notes that are green basil leaves, Italian mandarin, and grapefruit. From these notes, we know it's going to have an energetic feel. I'm reminded of putting a car in drive and stepping on the gas. This has such a nice beginning. And what I get most from this, and my husband certainly did get it at the very first blast, and that is that wonderful natural smelling grapefruit. I had to look up the aromatic use of green basil leaves, but it's very present and also very pleasant after that first burst of grapefruit. While it's listed as a top note, I find what I get first is the grapefruit, and definitely the green notes of the basil leaves seem to come in secondary. Not as a middle note, it's in with the top note, but first thing I get is the grapefruit, which is very pleasant. The mid notes, you have honeysuckle, which of course I love. If you've watched my channel for long, I adore honeysuckle, and if a fragrance has honeysuckle in it, it's pretty much a must buy for me. You also have ginger lily in here, which you also have in their number 6 fragrance that I have a dedicated review on. This reminds me of that fragrance in the brightness of it. It's ginger lily and mandarin. That's the other fragrance that I believe they reintroduced. That was my very first love from Trish McEvoy, along with the sexy number 9. The freshness of this fragrance is reminiscent of, let's say, a glowing summer day. You do have a coriander seed in here. The coriander seeds play a warm and spicy role in fragrances. It can also appear slightly citrusy. The role in perfumery just proves to me that it can be taken beyond our culinary expectations into masterful creations. The dry down is composed of like a mousse crystal, and I have no idea what that is, but it's in here. At least that's what Trish McEvoy tells us. And it's absolutely, whatever the notes are, is absolutely beautiful. You also have driftwood, which I'm so familiar with. Driftwood gives us that warm wood. Imagine wood that's been surfing on the seas, tossed around by the waves, and smoothed by the sun, waiting for us to pick up on the warm sand after drifting on the water and becoming very smooth. It gives the fragrance texture and an exceptional depth. It's a little drier and a little, I would say, easier going than like a sandalwood or cedar wood, which I do love. A common thread that exists with many of Trish McEvoy's fragrances would be that they're clean, fresh, and they're never harsh. Many of her creations are well balanced, where not one single note screams for attention. You also do count on that musk base, which does stay consistent in her creations, and it features that wonderful, inviting type of musk in the base. This is often what gives them that second skin type of quality. 3 words for number 8 would be radiant, summertime, and intoxicating. Have you ever tried Trish McEvoy's EDPs or EDTs? Which one is your favorite if you've tried them? And if you have not tried them before, please watch my video on Trish McEvoy. I do think these are hidden gems. And when you can get a 50 ml in the world of perfumery For less than $100, I think that's a pretty good deal. You can also sign up for her email notifications, and I noticed that several times a year she'll send out a 20% off coupon. So you would have 20% off of the $95 for this fragrance. I do think this is even backup bottle worthy for me, and that's because I know a lot of her fragrances that I end up loving do disappear for sometimes years. I hope this will not be one of those. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that I've made you aware of Trish McEvoy, and maybe you'll want to give her a sniff the next time you're approaching a Trish McEvoy's counter. Whether it's at a major department store or even smaller department stores, they may have it. But they're absolutely gorgeous, so please dive in and give the world of Trish McEvoy a good sniff and try. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video. Please hit the notification bell so I can bring you more fragrance content. And it helps so much if you want to make comments as well. And I'll look forward to seeing you in my next fragrance video, my fragrance friends. Thank you and goodbye.